Yes. What's up, CraigMakk? Ready for Detroit. We are on the hard back end of it. Yes. Oops. That's I should have turned that volume off.
Nice. Perfect. What was that? What is some shit going down in the background?
I had Twitch up, our Twitch up in the background, so I could
Awesome.
see the
Oh, it
chat
was like
room.
an
Yeah,
infinite
just
loop?
repeating my
It was
voice.
an infinite
Yeah,
loop. I like it. Perfect.
exactly.
Speaking of infinite loop, I'm really
Are you
fucked up right now,
familiar
man.
with
Oh,
Schrodinger's
shut up,
cat?
lady.
What
I'm
happened?
sorry.
Until you
She's talking to me
decide
right
what
now. She's talking about
happens,
Schrodinger's cat,
everything
and
is
I don't want to
happening
hear
at
about that shit.
once.
So
Like in a dream.
here's the
That
thing.
goes with that's kind of an infinite loop in a
It
way,
is. It is.
right?
It is the fucking. Is it alive or is it dead? It's infinitely. We
Yeah.
will never know. So here's the thing, Jess. I'm fucked up tonight.
What
I
happened?
want to play. I want to play this game, but I also
Mhm.
want to talk to you because, like, as my friend, as my boy, we have each other's back, right? We can talk about like anything, right?
Of course. Totally
Okay.
wouldn't repeat a word of it. Feel free to just talk about all your secrets right now.
Right. The
I
world
would
will
not
never know.
tell
The
anyone.
world will never know about this.
Exactly.
Okay. So I was crying earlier tonight. I just want to throw that out there. Like I was straight up fucking sobbing earlier
You need me
tonight.
to drive you to a shelter?
She didn't beat me that much, so
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like it's
Well,
like
it's
not
just,
worth.
was
We're
it
not
because
there
she loves
yet.
you?
Did
She tell you it was
said,
because she loves
I
you?
love you so much. Why do you make me do this to you? No, it was not that. So
Well,
have
it's
you ever
clearly
seen?
your fault. I
Have
gotta
you?
tell you
It's
that
always
as your
it's
friend.
full disclosure. Always my fault. So have you ever seen the movie A Star Is Born?
Absolutely not. It's a hard no.
Do you have any interest to see the movie A Star Is Born?
It's a hard no. That's Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, right?
That is.
Doing country music?
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. It's not entirely country. It's a little bit like rock
Did you know the
mixed
motto
with
of
country.
Detroit
It's
is
like
"We
shut up,
hope for
lady. Why
better
does she keep
things"?
talking to me? I'm trying to have a conversation with my boy Jess right now. Stop talking to me about shit about Detroit. Oh shit. No, she's probably has a good point. She's like, you loaded me up. You probably care about Detroit. The answer is no. I don't care, lady. Right now, I'm having a very heartfelt. All right. So here's the deal. It's a little bit rock and country simultaneously. And
Oh, so like Lil Nas X.
you know what?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
No, you solved my problem. Remember when I said I was crying right now? Now I'm laughing. I'm good. Problem solved. You
If
solved the
Deb
issue
Shadow
for me.
was listening right
you
now,
Solved, you solved the entire problem I was going
he'd
through
be
tonight.
throwing his 10-gallon hat at us.
Okay. So here's the deal. This needs to be said. Like this is like very important to me right now. This movie.
All right.
You should watch
I hope
this
you're
fucking
okay
movie.
today.
I'm not like I
Are you kidding
understand.
me?
Sometimes
No,
things
I
can be
understand. I
difficult
understand the
to-
joke. Like I understand that you're gonna be like, oh well, it's fucking whatever. It's A Star Is Born. But I'm like, it is so good. It is so fucking good, dude. This is a
Come on.
if we were still doing watch that shit. Like this would be a movie that I would tell you, watch that fucking movie.
Are you kidding me?
No.
It
Dude,
seems like a movie that even if you offered to pay me the price of admission
Right,
that other
right.
people would have to pay, I'd be like, nah, it's not worth my
you
time.
like it's not worth the money? Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the thing I will tell you. The thing that is most similar that I can tell you, and this I feel like this might grab you a little bit, but if it doesn't, that's okay. But it should because you made it happen to me. This movie is very similar to Blue Valentine.
Huh.
Right?
Blue
Remember that
Valentine
movie?
was awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That movie is fucking awesome.
Or how about
This-
Rockstar? Because it sounds more like Rockstar to me with Mark
So-
with Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston, which I thought
Right.
was a great movie.
Right. So it is combine those two together. That's actually a very good way to put it, right? It is imagine the musical background of Rockstar about the like, hey, like people going through some shit as musicians, but then involve the
I don't know if I mentioned
the
this,
character
but
relationship
your interior
of
decorating.
Blue Valentine, right? Because that whole
It
movie
really
is just
reflects your
about just
personality.
throw you into
I
a
mean,
room with these two people and come
I
to
like
grips
it.
with like their life is like what was my description that I said the beauty of that movie is like their life started before this movie and it ends after their movie, and you are just kind of taking you're just dipping in and watching it, like you're watching this kind of this moment in time. That is what this is in a way that I guarantee. I'm telling you right now, I sat down and watched this movie because I was like, hey, it's Mother's Day weekend and my wife wants to watch it. Totally cool. Like I'm okay with being, I'm okay with being the husband that says, yeah, if you want to watch it, let's watch it. And she fell asleep halfway through it, because she's already seen it, so that's okay. She
Oh.
fell asleep halfway through, and
I
I
was like,
was
man,
straight
it
up
sounds
like,
like a great movie, Craig. Thanks for recommending.
no, she's seen it like 17 times. Like, I mean, she's watched it on 5 flights. We own it. She's watched it 4
Did you
times.
know
Like
It was on
in
one of
our
my
house.
flights.
Like, she
And it
is-
was either watch that or an old episode of Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and I
you
was
were
like, I'd rather watch the old episode.
"Wayne, fresh,
Yup, I'm ready for
West
it.
California,
See what Uncle
born and
Phil's up to.
raised." Right, yeah. On the playground, all of my days. Whoa, I can't wait to see what happens. Wait, he did the Carlton? I can't believe it.
Oh fuck! By the way, I'm sorry. Since we go down
Yes.
rabbit holes, so I'm
Yes,
gonna come back
yes,
to
we
this.
do.
Let's
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
feel the need to say this right now.
Yes.
Have you seen the new Bel Air, the Bel Air 2019 trailer?
What? That's a thing?
I almost like feel like I would, because if we were recording like the regular podcast, I would have
Yeah,
told you
you'd
about
make
it
me
on
watch
the
it right
podcast.
now?
We would stop recording. You would have watched it. Yeah,
You
we can't
make
do
me
that
watch
right
it right
now.
now?
But let's no, don't watch it right now.
Okay.
It's a little too long. It's like a 3-minute trailer, and
Should I save it?
Let's
Should I save
keep
it
going.
for the next podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Actually, you know what I'll say? Don't watch it until on the next podcast.
Wait, that's what I'm saying.
We'll
Save
do
it for
that.
the next podcast. Watch it live.
So don't watch it. I think you can actively. I don't know how you avoided knowing about this because it went like pretty fucking viral.
I
for
know
a while,
nothing
but,
about this, so well done, Craig, for literally fucking going.
It's good though.
I guess maybe I'm also a 1,000 years old, and I'm fucking one of those angry old men who are like, get off my lawn.
No, this is
kids.
I could say this is one of the few instances where some shit went viral and I asked you about it. You had no clue.
Cool.
But I think you'll enjoy it. And it's
Okay.
so don't watch it now. Watch it, when we record the next podcast.
Now I know enough to not care until you tell me we're recording our next podcast, and then I'll watch it, which I'm totally down with.
There you go.
I'm okay with that.
There you go.
So, dude, okay.
So back to yeah.
A Star Is Born. I am telling. So this movie is entirely from beginning to end. It is a character drama about these two people. Their interactions. I mean, yes, it is like about music, and actually, the music, I will also say, is surprisingly good for someone who, me, you know what kind of music I like. Like, that you and I are pretty much lockstep in most of the shit that we like when it comes to music. Like that we
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, exactly. We are of the same exact era. We are of the same exact pace. So watching this movie, when I see these two people that I'm like, oh man, you guys are actually legit fucking really good at what you're doing. And
I gotta say, I watched the video with Bradley Cooper in it, and I was like, it dawned on me while I was watching the video, like, that's actually him singing. Like, that's pretty fucking good.
He is fucking legit as fuck in this movie. Like, his singing is great. And one of the funny things was, like, out of the gate, before the movie even started, I was like, I said to my wife, I was like, so what do you like better, his performance in this? Before the movie even started, so it was kind of a joke. I started as a joke. I was like, what do you like better, his performance in this or in the Guardians
The
of
Hangover?
the Galaxy? Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And like,
Was he in Guardians of the Galaxy?
He plays the joke is that he is fucking he's Rocket Raccoon. So he's literally he's the raccoon character. So I kind of was like making a joke at first, and she's like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, she looked at me and she was like, "First of all, it's Mother's Day weekend, so shut your fucking mouth." And second of all,
first of all, you're lucky I didn't smack you already.
Exactly. She was like, second of all,
That's a quote from
fuck
Jean
you.
Reno.
We should get a divorce
French
right now
writer.
because he's so good in this movie. And I was like, well, no, but I'm being a dick, but he's really good at doing a voice of Rocket Raccoon. Like, he is playing a character. Like, whether or not, obviously,
Hey,
he's
there's
not,
something
like,
to be said for
he's
voice
in
acting.
it. Wait, he's not
We
acting.
both know somebody who does that. It's not easy.
That shit is very fucking hard. You see, the moment
It's
he
also what she said.
starts speaking in this, yeah, well done. The moment he starts speaking in this, he does a voice that I have never heard Bradley Cooper do ever. Like, I mean, he does literally, he is voice acting while also acting, which to me is fucking mind blowing. That I'm like, oh, you're doing a different person entirely, like from fucking start to finish. He is not just doing like regular Bradley Cooper voice. So I was like, out the gate, he is killing it. And then on top of all that, you see this interaction between these two characters that are like, they're playing this very, it's very personal. Like, it is about a relationship and, the spirals of relationships and how hard they can be and whatever. And like, so I'm going to say right now, am I spoiling this or am I not? Like, is this a thing that is interesting to you or am I not?
I would normally, like anybody, I would tell
sometimes things can be
anybody normally to
difficult,
go fuck themselves if they told me
Right.
to watch this movie. I didn't use those words with my wife, but I think my wife also suggested she wanted me to watch this with her, and I was
Yes.
like, no, I'm gonna go play video games instead because
Right,
you
right,
married
right.
a man.
Okay, right.
And that wasn't a shot at you. That's actually what I said to her at the time.
Right.
But
Also, what you said to
But
me
knowing-
earlier tonight when I told you that I was watching this movie. So let's not breaking down the fourth wall. I was like, hey, guess what? You were like, do you want to play Detroit? And I was like, well, here's the deal. I'm watching A Star Is Born. You were like, oh man, that sucks for you because I still have testosterone left. That's a big bummer for you. And I was like, well, that's hurtful, but
you
I
put
don't-
that in a way that makes me seem nicer.
Right, you were
or
way
more
meaner than
politically
that.
correct.
You were way
I was
meaner than that, yes.
I was like, I responded to you in a way that I knew you would understand
Right.
because you know me that I'm just
Yes.
making a over the top joke for effect,
Right.
but something
I mean, it
that I
hurt
would
my
never
feelings a
say
little
on
bit.
air.
Hurt my feelings a little bit. It did hurt my feelings a little bit. I was
I'm
like, oh,
sorry.
come on, man.
But knowing that you,
I
that if
showed
I
it to my
told
wife
you,
and I
hey,
was like,
Craig
God
Mack,
I don't
damn
know
it.
if I mentioned this,
God
but
damn it.
I love
Just
the
hates me,
pictures
doesn't
and
it?
decorations.
What did
She
she
was like,
say?
yes, he does.
What did she?
It really
She
reflects
was
your
like, yes, he
personality.
does.
I mean,
And fuck him. Let's watch the rest of this movie.
like
And I was like, well said, honey. I love you. Happy Mother's Day. You're the best.
So, knowing that if I told you, let's watch a movie about a cowboy singing country western with
Okay.
his
Maybe
chick
let's
and
not
it's
describe
Bradley
it that way,
Cooper,
but okay, keep going.
and it's Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, I
Right.
think you would aggressively tell me to fuck off.
Right.
And I know that you had to be physically intimidated into watching this movie by your wife.
I did not. I
Um,
just had to have, it was Mother's Day weekend, and I was like, hey, you want to watch this movie? Let's do
Well,
it. That's fine.
Let's not pretend
But,
that just because she asks you nicely, the threat isn't still there.
Okay.
But
The sword of
I can tell
Damocles is
you,
always hanging over our heads, right? We know that at
you-
this point.
you weren't hyped to watch this movie, I can guess.
No.
And you would not have
Absolutely.
done it
Absolutely not.
had you not been forced to. So
Absolutely not.
the
I
fact that you're
suggested-
coming out of here,
I'm telling you, by the way, Jess,
Knowing
I
that you were gonna
suggested
get ridiculed.
nine separate times. I was like, I did the like, so you sure you want to watch this? You sure you want to watch this? You sure you want? She's like, seriously, you don't want to watch it? We don't have to watch it. And I was like, no, I'm just like, whatever. If you want to, you sure you want to watch this? You sure you want? She's like, your voice is getting higher every single time you ask me. It's really
you
fucking
started throwing out
distressing, Craig.
like examples of movies that you were like willing to negotiate for that
Right.
still seem better than like,
Absolutely.
it's been a while since I watched like Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
let's
holy
have
shit,
Tom Hanks.
holy shit. How is that the exact movie I was about to suggest when you just threw out that example? I was literally about to be
Because
like,
Tom Hanks
hey
is
man,
dreamy.
I'll have what she's having. I was like, that is literally the only movie that I have as my alternate. At the moment my wife asked me for anything, I'm like, but Sleepless in Seattle, that movie's good, right? We can watch that shit again. And she's like, fucking
When
asshole.
Harry Met Sally.
Right,
Harry
exactly.
Met Sally is actually a decent one.
That's all I have. That's all I have is anything that has to do with any of those characters. I'm like, I got nothing left. I don't know. What else do I have, honey? I love you. Can we just stay married if I just offer to watch When Harry Met Sally? Is that like cool? Can we not like not get a divorce? And she's like, well, maybe, but you should probably watch this movie tonight. So she did.
So the
talk me
fact that
into
you're
it.
aggressively recommending it,
I am.
um,
I could not. I cannot recommend this movie more. Like this is not a I'm not doing a character, I'm not doing a bit, I'm not like selling you on some shit. I'm saying this movie being about like the place where you and I are in our lives and our relationships that we have, like we're being happily married and like having kids and all that kind of stuff, like having this movie be what it's about and the way it ends is so impactful, and it just makes you realize like relationships in general are fucking terrible and they're hard and they're fucking rough and like shit goes down and like whatever, if you're famous or you're fucking just a couple of douchebags doing a fucking show on the internet, right? Like either way it's fucking it means a lot that you get through every day,
you
right? The
familiar
fact that you get
with
through a
Schrodinger's
Monday to a
cat?
Tuesday is a big fucking deal.
Until you
And so
decide what happens,
watching this movie,
everything
because
is happening at
this movie is
once.
like there are
Like in Detroit.
this is the equivalent of, I mean, there's a bunch of people in this movie, but it is basically the equivalent of what's the movie with Wilson? fucking
Oh,
Outcast.
yeah.
Castaway.
Castaway.
It is the effective version of Castaway, but with two people. It's just about those two people, and that's all. They are 99% of the people that matter in this fucking movie. So when you're watching it and you're seeing relationships kind of, bloom and then implode and everything that happens, and like I said, I kind of feel now that you're like semi-interested in it, that I don't want to ruin the end, because the end fucking was that the end is the fucking movie, right? Like the payoff is the end, and watching the way it ends, it fucking, like, I'm pretty sure I actually texted you. You were like, you want to play Detroit? And I was like, I think I actually need time before I can play. Like, I need to fucking process what I just fucking saw. And you were like, oh, so you're a girl. My bad. Like, or whatever the fuck you said. And I was like, no.
Again, a mild version of what I wrote.
Right. And I was like, hey, funny, but also for real. See this fuck, like, it was like the fourth time I think I wrote you. I was like,
By the way,
you should fucking see this movie. Like, you should need to see it. So I'm sorry if this is like very out of character for us, or like we're doing kind of a weird side
It's an
recommendation
improv
of a movie.
to watch that shit.
Yes, but this
we
is
do
very
these
much
on our regular podcast, and
Yes.
we do movie recommendations on our website, which I posted in our chat, www.livemancave.com. But this one was enough that it moved you to make that recommendation, and
yeah.
I will say that you would have had to drag me kicking and screaming to a theater or a TV to watch this movie. And now that you've described it the way you have, which is the highest honors,
Yes.
I would be more open to watching this on a day where my wife is like, "Do you want to watch this movie with me?" And then I go, "Yeah, all right, I'll watch it with you." And then she goes, "What? Really? Did you hear what I asked you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Craig said it was great.
Exactly. As long as you give me the
so you
shout-out.
listen to Craig, but you don't listen for
as long,
you don't listen
as, long
to
as
me,
I get
and
the
then-
credit, I'm down with that. I'm totally down with you finally being like, all right, honey, I guess. And she's
I'm
like,
gonna have to be
wait,
in the mood
what?
for this one. Like,
It
this is
is-
not one that
so-
I'm like gonna watch tomorrow. Probably, I'm gonna have to wait until I'm in the mood.
So the most important things I would share, and this is like this is not hyperbole or bullshit or whatever. Like, you need to be in the mind frame to know, like, some shit's gonna go down, and you're not gonna like feel good when this movie is over. That's just like that's
Well,
a
then now
given.
I already know what happens in the end. Then
No, not,
thanks a lot.
No, you don't. That's not telling anything. I mean, it's relationships, right? So like, shit goes down, and that.
Now I know. Now I know they don't live happily ever after. Thanks, Craig. Well, I'm not gonna be watching.
That is not the case. That's you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, this movie is about relationships.
Bring a box of tissues. I'm not saying anything else. Just bring a box of tissues.
What I'm saying,
and not for the usual reason that you bring tissues to the movie theater.
It's a jerk
make
off.
origami.
I got it. So what I'm trying to say is, when you watch a movie, what was the example I gave? Like, I intentionally gave the example of fucking Blue Valentine, right? Like, that
It had a sad ending, and they did not live happily ever after.
No, but I'm saying, that could have ended happily, and it still would have been a sad movie, right? Like, if all the shit you saw happen in that movie happened,
true.
Even if it ended with them being happy, you still would have been like, wow, that was a roller coaster of emotions to deal with. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, this movie is a roller coaster of emotions, and you go into it knowing that, and I think that whether or not that was in like the commercials or not doesn't actually matter. I think that's important to know, because I think it adds gravity to why you would want to see this movie. Because if it's just like, oh, it's a love story, fuck that, right? Like, I don't need to see that. I can see that all the time. But like, if I want to see a movie that tells a fucking story, and this movie
I can see a love story in a porno.
fucking story. Absolutely, yes, and that is it's beautiful, and it allows you to jerk off, and that's all you need.
Exactly.
Also, on the back of the shirt, Live from the Man Cave.
It's beautiful, and it allows you to jerk off, and that's all you need.
And that's all you need.
On the back of the t-shirt.
I'm okay with that. I'm totally
down with
okay
the
with that.
Totally wear that. We need to start making these t-shirts. There's too many good t-shirts we have not released.
We need to stop saying on the back of the t-shirt and actually make them. But
Yeah.
anyway, long story short, dude, there's literally zero hyperbole when I say see this fucking movie. It's worth it. You will love it. You will love it. It's excellent. It is excellent acting. The storytelling between these characters is incredible. And as somebody who, like I said, part of what is most impactful is that you being married, me being married, that is a thing that we have we have a personal connection to that storyline, and then seeing how it can go excellently well and how we can see it go poorly, and being involved in it allows you to kind of see it from different perspectives that I think are important for people like us, or not for people like us, for people that are already going through being married and everything. We have an extra level of understanding what that means, and so this movie is awesome. And then on top of all that, like, the acting is great and all that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, dude, like, I very rarely tell you where a movie makes me take a minute to think about what just happened before I can even like talk to you about it. And this movie did that. Like, I literally had to text you and be like, "Yo, give me some time. Like, I need time." That's why we're doing this show as late as we are right now, is because I literally bitched out and was like, I need a few moments to like come to grips with what the fuck I just like had to process. And you were like, "Oh, all right, let's don't text me anymore. Let's talk about it on the show because this seems important to you." And so that's why I throw it out there. That I'm like,
conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So. Check it out, dude. That's it. So sorry about that. Sorry about having a little sidebar, like,
no problem.
Cry fest.
Hopefully you may have convinced a larger population of people like me who were convinced that we would not see it,
right?
To maybe consider seeing it. But I might see it. I might like it. But I can guarantee you, I won't be telling anybody else about it. It'll be my secret.
Really? You won't try to sell other people on it?
No, probably. So one of the people that I may not try to sell people on it, but
you're
I may
a good reviewer, man. You're great at that.
I might begrudgingly say I watched it and I liked it. God damn it, go see it.
See, look, I know you're talking a lot of shit right now because I know you're trying to be fucking Serious Jest, the fucking Mike molester, and I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, I know you are a badass fucking reviewer, and I know when you like some shit, even
you're using those salesman skills now.
But
I do love myself.
When you see some shit that you like, when you see some shit you like, you are willing to be like, "Yo, I know you didn't necessarily think you would like it, but this is why it's good," and like that is what this movie is. So whatever, it is what it is. Go check it out.
Some of the people that I might tell about this movie are those who live in our Discord server.
Yes.
This is the perfect time to plug. We have a Discord server. You should fucking join, guys,
sir.
Because if you watched like what you just listened to and you wished you could scream at Craig, "No, Craig, you're wrong. This is a fucking bitch movie. Don't listen to him, Jess."
No,
you can go on our Discord server. We don't
use this kind of language in our fucking in our podcast. We are respectful to everybody.
I wasn't referring to women in my use of bitch there, even though I didn't mean it that way. I meant like little bitch movie. Like don't be a bitch and watch it. Let's say somebody thinks that way.
I don't know if you're making it any better, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not. I was trying.
I didn't mean like a girl. I just meant like, don't be a bitch, you bitch. Yeah. You fucking bitch.
Yeah,
that's
I
not
didn't
helping.
mean like don't be a bitch. I was just saying don't be a. Oh wait. All right.
Oh
let me
God.
Stop.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. That's the end of our show. Thank you very much for listening.
Oh man.
And it's a one-man podcast now. Welcome to the CraigMakk and CraigMakk podcast, where I don't say shit like that word that he just tried to say.
Well, I was like, don't be a Benedict Cumberbatch.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
Benedict
and just
Cumberbatch?
like move on.
Okay, all right. So join our Discord server. Discord is an app that allows you. It's basically like a really easy to use chat format that a lot of started in a gamer community, and a lot of communities now are expanding and using beyond just gamers, and like we use it, and it's great for all entertainment stuff. So keep the conversation going. Join our Discord server. The link is in the chat. And I would just quickly say that while you were delayed because of the movie, I was playing Dead by Daylight.
Yes,
and I just want to say that I hate killers who in Dead by Daylight, the killer hosts the other 4 players, and then they jump. If you have a shitty-ass connection, don't be a fucking host for a multiplayer game. I really fucking hate getting I'm rubber banding as I'm running and shit like that, and all of a sudden I end up crashing into a wall and stupid shit like that. Like, I hate it. All right, So that was all I had to say. But let's get into it, man, real quick. So you guys are all like, "Yo, I tuned in for fucking Detroit." Yeah, hold your horses. All right, we got important shit to talk about, like fucking movies and video games, and most importantly, fucking beer.
Yes.
We're gonna tell you about what beer we're drinking now. You want you want me to go first? You want to go first?
Dive in. You go. You
all right.
You kicked it off. I feel like you deserve to go first.
I'm ready to drink, CraigMakk. So up to this point, I've been sipping on Pepsi. So now I'm ready to switch over to the beer. So
Gross.
Ballast Point Brewing Company. We have had them before. I think it was on the last episode of this, Ready Player 2, where I had their Victory at Sea, which are a good friend of the show, Minister of Gaming, and so many other titles. They're too lengthy to list here. Jim Sardonic, aggressively
Owner
disliked.
Of unicorns.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you gave him back that title.
Yeah,
awesome.
I gave it back. He earned it back. He earned it back.
The Victory at Sea Ballast Point was, to him, he was not a big fan of that. I think he was
ambassador of children at some point, and then we realized we're like, that just seems weird.
Cuckoo.
That actually seems like he's. Yeah, we should probably remove that title just to be safe.
Yikes.
So hey,
man,
Jim,
we are touching on all the controversial subjects.
Oh God! Don't say touching when we're talking about children. What are you doing?
Yikes,
Why are you doing that? What's happening?
So Ballast Point, we've talked.
That transition was amazing, and I'm down with it. I co-sign.
We talked about so I think my what I came to on the Victory at Sea was it was good for one beer, and then after that you might call them roasted coffee grinds. They tasted a little more like burnt coffee grinds to me after one. Which wasn't appealing after more than one. But so this one is, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I came back to Ballast Point, and this is their Grapefruit Sculpin IPA. As you know, I'm not a big IPA fan anymore, but this one seemed like there might be strong contrasts of like a strong IPA balanced out with like a strong grapefruit taste. So let's crack this bad boy open. All right, and all right, the smell that runs out immediately comes out from the bottle. There's a strong hop smell, and it is countered by a nice, light, refreshing citrus smell. So I might actually like this.
Nice. I love that one. So.
All right. My first sip.
I think we've gone on record, by the way, saying that Sculpin, the original, the regular Sculpin, is like one of my favorite IPAs of all time.
I think you may have said, you've said that at some point in the.
It's one of my favorites. We've had it on tap here in the man cave. So this is their grapefruit version. They have done multiple versions of their Sculpin, and so I'm interested to see what you think about this one.
This is a difference in the in what I expected from the smell. By the way, it's ABV, awesome beverage value, or alcohol by volume, whichever way you choose to say it. Is ABV is 7%. So it's it's on the stronger side of average, especially for IPA, or not especially for IPA. I mean, you would expect that with an IPA. They tend to be on the higher side of the ABV. I thought from the taste that there was going to be a more balanced kind of like explosion of like the IPA fighting against the grapefruit, and that clash being kind of like a really cool mix when you drink it. Instead, this is very IPA forward. With a small hint of the grapefruit. I'm taking another sip. Yeah. So because I'm not really into IPAs anymore, this is not really something that I would get again or normally prefer. But for what it is, it's good. I can't say this is a bad IPA. It's a good IPA. And the light hints of citrus that I can kind of taste if I really keep concentrating on it are kind of cool if I'm looking for an IPA and I want a hint of grapefruit. But in me saying that sentence, that's not nothing I normally want. So I wouldn't do this again. But it's not bad. It's a good IPA. I'm just not into it.
Nice. Okay. So
I'm still gonna drink it for the show though.
So you
as the bottles that I've left.
Do you like this less than a regular IPA, or it is, kind of like...
It's on the better side.
Obviously, being that you
it's
are
on the better side of IPAs.
Right, yeah. Because you're normally kind of like, you've backed away in general from IPAs. So is this something that you'd be like, hey, I could drink this more than a regular IPA, but I just don't like it because it still is an IPA? Because, it's definitely... I've had that one. It is definitely still an IPA. Like, that, it is what it is. It's not... It's... They're adding that kind of grapefruit flavor to it, but it's not taking away from the things that you probably don't like about IPAs. So
right, like for instance, remember, I'll give you an example of the one that
Yes.
would like the IPAs I still would like, right? That I kind of was hoping this would be more like. Remember when we went to New Jersey Brewing Company and we had their the Blood Orange IPA?
Yes.
So
yeah.
The Blood Orange, they went heavy on the Blood Orange flavor, and it actually kind of like merged into the IPA flavor, and then everything that I normally didn't like about the IPAs at that point, like it kind of beautifully merged with the Blood Orange, and it was right in my wheelhouse. But this is like, you threw a grapefruit in an IPA the way you might do with like an orange into a Blue Moon, and then the grape in the IPA just like absorbed the grapefruit flavor, and it's in there somewhere. I can kind of taste the hint, but it's not. But yeah, as far as like, it's still it's a solid IPA. I'm just not into IPAs. And back when I used to be into IPAs, I went for heavy, like really fucking heavy hops with like big ABV. So I'd be looking for like Dogfish Head IPAs at like 11-12%, like that kind of so
and this is not that.
I don't know that
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have liked this that much. But I wouldn't have said this is a bad IPA. I would have said this is quality for what it is. But if I'm going to go IPA, I'm going to go fucking super hop strong.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Nice, man. So we'll see how it builds up over time too, because this is your first one. You're just taking a sip, so see what you think. As the show goes on, because you have a couple of those, I assume.
Yeah, I got 3 bottles.
Nice. All right. So this one. For me, I have talked a little bit on the show. Well, we did on the last podcast. I talked about Tavour, which is the the
great
website,
site.
the app where you can order. It's almost kind of like a beer of the month club, but you get to like choose from what they have, and they have all kinds of stuff that typically, like we talked about, is not available outside of their region, right? So that's kind of some of the beauty of it, is that it's stuff that is you can only get in Washington unless you buy from Tavour, or you can only get in Alaska unless you buy it through Tavour or whatever. So this one that I'm about to have is one that I got through them. It is from Humboldt County, California, and they are Mad River Brewing. And this one, so have you ever had a Mad River Brewing beer?
No, I don't think I have.
I have not. I definitely have not. I was very excited to get this. So this one is their Bourbon Barrel Vanilla Porter. So,
that sounds great.
Yeah, pretty much it is a porter aged in bourbon barrels with vanilla beans as part of the fermentation. And this one is 9.5% alcohol. So it's got a little foil top on it. It's actually pretty cool. It's like wrapped up top. They have a foil wrap around the neck. And I'm about to pop this open. Let's see, because like I said, I've never had this beer definitely, and I've never had this brewer before. So I'm gonna check this one out. This is a new one I just got 2 weeks ago in my new Tavour shipment that came. So let's see. So you definitely smell, like I smell more right out of the gate I smell the vanilla, but I don't necessarily smell as much of the bourbon barrel yet. Like that, you kind of get a little bit of that sweet smell of the bourbon, of the vanilla right out of the gate, like almost like if you had like vanilla ice cream or like a vanilla bean on a pie or a cake or something like that kind of thing. Like you can smell some of that sweet vanilla taste to it.
Smells like your grandma's panties on a hot summer day, huh?
And that's the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? All right, I'm going to pour this bad boy. Let's see what happens. Because I'm mostly just pouring because I'm trying to erase what the fuck
we just try new stuff on Ready Player 2.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We just throw it up on the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if the granny panties thing works. All right, so here we go. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is really good because of the fact that, okay, so we've talked on the show sometimes about like some stuff when you're like, oh, this is like a vanilla porter this or a bourbon barrel that. Sometimes it's like it's a punch in the mouth, where you're like the first sip it tastes really good, but by the second sip it doesn't really, it's like too much. This seems like a perfect,
like Victory at Sea was.
Right. This feels like a perfect mix of all those things where it is enjoyable and clear. I can tell from the very first taste that it will be enjoyable at the end of the second bottle. Like it is. There's nothing about it that's overwhelming. It is all of those tastes. Like it's the bourbon. You get a little bit of the bourbon. You get definitely that little bit of that, that vanilla taste. You definitely clearly get the porter taste, but none of it overwhelms you to the point where you're like, yeah, I can tell where this is going to add up pretty quickly. It's not that. It's actually very, for a 9.5%, it's, a 9.5% porter, it's very sessionable. This is great. Like I can drink the shit out of this. I'm enjoying this. This tastes exactly like a thing that, like, part of me is like, man, I could sit by a fireplace and drink this. But the other part of me is also like, I can sit outside by a fire pit on a nice, not warm day, because it is definitely, it's a porter, so it's like heavy enough where you wouldn't want to drink it on like a hot day. But like by a fire pit on a cool kind of late spring night where it's like, it's not warm, but it's not cold. You could drink this just as easily by that as you could by the fireplace in the middle of winter. This thing is great. I love it. Is it Mad River? Mad River Brewing. It's their bourbon barrel vanilla porter, 9.5%, and I am enjoying the shit out of this. So yeah, I highly recommend this one.
Tavor's been finding a lot of shit for me that like I wasn't even aware of the brewer, which is really fucking
awesome. Yeah, I've never heard of these guys even before I placed this order. I had never even heard they existed. So Tavor is really fucking opening my eyes to some new shit. So that's awesome.
Make sure you update your app with like you could rank it on the Tavor app as well. So
absolutely, I certainly will. That will go up on my app.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about is how many beers came in your first open crate? Your first crate for
my first crate.
For those of you listening, by the way.
Yes.
Sorry. Those of you that are listening, Tavor ships out everything for $15 shipping, like flat fee. So if you order 100 beers, still $15.
Well, no.
Order 2 beers, $15.
If you order over 15 points of beers, which is a large, so a large bottle counts as 1 point, and a can counts as half a point. So every 2 cans you get or 1 large bottle counts as 1 point. And if you get up to 15 points of items you put in your crate, they give it to you for free. So
really, because I already have that in mind, and they haven't notified me.
You will be free then. So once you get up, like in the top of the app, actually on the top of your screen as you're ordering things, they will literally tell you, like if you add a bottle, they'll be like, you are 15 points away from free shipping. When you add a bottle, it'll be like, you are 14 points away. If you add 2 cans, they'll say you're 13. If you only add 1 can, they'll be like, oh, you're 13 and a half points away from free shipping. And then ultimately you will get it for free. So the beauty is that you are put in this position where you're like, well, if I buy 15, 15 items, which could be, 12 bottles and 2 cans or whatever, they're like, well, yeah, you're going to pay 15, but if you add 1 more can, all of a sudden now this is free shipping, which is what makes Tavor so great, because they have incentivized you to be like, well, this month I found a couple extra things I really like, let me throw 2 more extra in, and now I get it for free shipping. And it's awesome.
Yeah, there's got to be at free shipping, but I'm not seeing any notifications that say that I am.
All right, we'll talk about it off air to see if you got it or not.
Yeah. But that's a dope thing to know.
Because I've gotten 1 month. So this is my 3rd crate right now. My first crate I did get for free. My second one I did not, because I didn't hit the threshold. I think I only ordered like 9 or 10. 9 or 10 points worth of items, and so I paid the $15, which is still $15 for, which I think came out to be, it was like 13 or 14 bottles and cans. $15 is like fucking nothing. Like, that's the cost of, like, you paying in gas to go to your liquor store twice to get some of the shit that we can have shipped to us. That's what you would pay just to drive there. You know what I mean? So when you think about it as your price of shipping, and when you can get it for free if you order enough, even better. So yeah, I'm definitely down with what they're doing.
Yeah, I've got I got 21 items sitting in my crate right now at this point.
Oh, then you're definitely free. You're definitely 100% free.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see if they try
and
to charge me.
The beauty of Tavor too is that on top of that they're like, here's the day. Like, you must be coming up on your shipping day, right?
No, not yet. I'm still out. Like, I think mine will ship on the 28th.
Okay, yeah. So if you wanted to,
2 weeks out, a little more than 2 weeks out.
So you're 2 weeks out. If you wanted to, you could say, hey, move that shipping date to next week because I have enough stuff. I want it to come to me. I want it to be shipped, right? So they give you a day, which is usually, I think the day is actually a month out from the initial day you first place an order. But then on top of all that, you can also say, hey, you know what, ship it out next week because I've ordered enough. I don't want to spend $1,000 in beer, so let's just ship it out. And you can choose the day you ship, and it's just kind of cool that you like are given the kind of autonomy to decide when you want your shit to get shipped out to you. It's not like a beer of the month club where it's like, hey, it comes out when it comes out, deal with it.
Yeah.
Like they give you the ability to say, you know, if you like yours is on the 28th, if you say I want to move it to the 21st or I want to move it to the 14th or whatever you want to do, like you can do that whenever you want, and that's kind of the beauty.
I just haven't been moving it up because I'm like, I could keep getting beers like for the same shipping costs, which I'm hoping will be nothing at this point. So Absolutely. I'm just like, no, you can hold on to it for a little longer. I'll be patient. I got beer in my fridge. I'm good.
I'll be fine. And guess what? They're always gonna add good beer to it, right? So like, you always find more shit that you want to buy. That's kind of my thing. Is like, actually, my rule of thumb, just so you know, Jess, my rule of thumb is like, the moment they say, hey, shit is being shipped, until it arrives in my house, I stop opening the app altogether. Because my problem is that I'm like, if once they say, hey, we're shipping it out, if I open it the next day, I'm like, I'm sure you're going to tell me something new I want to buy, and I'll buy more shit. So like, my whole thing,
I'm over $200 already on this crate.
Absolutely.
I got open.
And you can spend some money easily and enjoy it, right? Yeah. I mean, do you feel bad about the money that you're spending?
No, it's because it really is like, some shit that I'll never get to drink unless Absolutely. I do it this way.
Absolutely.
I won't even know about. So, and I'm hoping I get to the point where they're like, the suggestions start to like come back around again, and I'm like, okay, I've had that one. I had that one. I'm only, right now I'm in my like try to try everything and rate everything kind of phase. Absolutely. And then,
do you have you leaned towards a certain type of beer in this crate that you're getting?
Just not IPAs.
You just everything that's not IPA, which is actually probably the same thing as me. That's the same thing I've done. Is like. We've talked about it on the show that both of us are kind of in a bit of. You're a little bit more.
Stouts.
Yeah, you're a little bit more heavy on the non-IPA. Like you drew a hard line, whereas I have not drawn as hard of a line. But I am definitely much more like my last crate. I mean, we talked about it on the show that we did the MCU one and then the regular podcast where I've done. Way more of...
The Cave of Thrones is the last one where you talked about
Cave of Thrones. Yeah, you're right. Cave of Thrones is the one we talked about. On Cave of Thrones, where I talked about, I was like, almost everything that I had was like it was like a mint chocolate stout this, or a porter that, or whatever. It was like, I don't think I really had anything that was an IPA just because I'm like, they're everywhere. I can get those wherever the fuck I need to, and I'm kind of taking a break from them. I'd like to try some of this more, a stout or a porter or whatever, and so that's where this one came in, this Mad River Bourbon Barrel Vanilla Porter, and this one lives up to everything I was looking for, so that's awesome.
Nice. By the way, as I keep drinking this IPA, it becomes more like a regular IPA. I taste the grapefruit less. Again, solid for an IPA. Just... Not what I prefer. Yeah, but it's fine though. It's good.
One thing I would be interesting to see if you try is Ballast Point, which is, or not Ballast Point, Sculpin, which is one of my favorite IPAs. I think. I mean, just over the last couple of years is one of my favorites. So they also make a pineapple Sculpin. That's kind of their Sculpin is their playground, right? That's where they try some new shit. So they make a pineapple, but they also make, which I don't necessarily know if you don't love the grapefruit, that you would love the pineapple, right? Because it's still a kind of a it's a fruit.
It's gonna be like hint of pineapple.
Right. It's a fruit forward, and if you don't love the fruit forwardness of this one, you're not gonna love the fruit forwardness of that one. But they also make a.
No, it's not fruit forward. I would say this is IPA forward, and fruit is like a hint.
So I guess my point is they would say, and I might even argue that I think they think it is fruit forward, and I would possibly agree with them. But I would say for someone like you who is pretty much aggressively against IPAs at this point, like you've made a choice, you've made a stronger choice than I have. I guess that's my point.
Yeah.
I think to you, the IPA-ness is definitely going to be stronger, and that makes sense to me. Like I'm not.
I mean, I'd call it. Wouldn't you call it New Jersey Brewing Company's the Blood Orange IPA? Wouldn't you call that fruit forward?
Yes. No. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I do agree that one is different than this one, in that is probably more fruit forward than the grapefruit. But I guess my argument would also be like, I also can imagine that you can say there are varying degrees of fruit forward, right? And so you can be like, we are, at 1 to 10, this one might be a 10, this one might be a 6, which to somebody who doesn't like IPAs, a 6 isn't enough to outweigh the IPA-ness, right? Because that's like you're 1 point away from being a 50-50 split. So, but to somebody who enjoys the IPA flavor, they would be like, oh, 6, that's still fruit forward. And so I think this one is fruit forward, but it's just probably not as fruit forward as you would like it to be. And I think that's that's a beauty of, people's perceptions of beer, right? Is that you're like, hey, this is just not what I'm looking for. Whereas to me, I'm like, I like it. Like I don't, I understand why somebody wouldn't love it, but I like it. But the one beer I would say that I would be interested to hear you try. They also make, like I said, the pineapple one. They also make a habanero sculpin, which is a IPA with habanero peppers. So you get, that one is I cannot convey enough. That one is aggressively spice forward. Like that's one of those ones where by the second one your mouth is potentially on fire. And
that doesn't sound good to me combined with an IPA. I gotta say.
I would like to say. That's why I'd like to see you try it, because it is a hard sell.
You like to see me suffer.
No. So, do you like spicy foods in general? Yes.
Yeah, but yes. because I'm Hispanic, so yes.
No. I know because I've hung out with you.
I know.
Yes, yes, you can make that joke too. But like I've hung out with you, so I know. I kind of said I asked the question out of like I wanted to hear you say it, but I also know you like spicy food. Like, so do I, and I love spicy food.
Although in my older age, by the way, I am pulling back with the degrees of hotness that I like. Really? Younger me was like, more hot sauce. I want fucking hotness. Yeah, and like now I'm like, hey, mild hot sauce is cool. It does the trick.
It's okay. You're like, I can work with some mild shit. We're okay. We don't have to nuke my tongue every single time I eat something. Which I hear you too. I'm also kind of in that.
Maybe I don't go Cardi B spice. Maybe I go Jennifer Lopez and just keep it mild.
I tried to just do an ochre and I just realized I can't do it. So nailed it. Oh my god, that was really good. Well done. I don't know if that was a sound clip or that was actually you, but either way, you killed it.
We're about to play some Detroit Be Called Human, I say.
All right, well done. You nailed it. So I think we're done. We've talked.
All right.
We've talked. It's 3:35 in the morning. We've done this for 48 minutes. I think we're ready.
I don't gotta work tomorrow. You don't gotta work tomorrow.
Fuck it, man.
Do it.
No, all I have to do is wake up and spend Mother's Day with my wife. So let's get this shit done.
Oh yeah, you do not have to be awake for that. Trust me. No, you know what you do.
What?
She won't know you were up all night if you just get really drunk in the morning and you're like, it's not that I'm tired, I'm just drunk, and pass out.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah,
full disclosure, just so you know, she is literally sleeping on the couch 9 feet behind me. So she's gonna know.
Shit. Yeah, the fact that you're at this volume is really, really bold of you. My respect for your courage is.
Did I just blow up on you right there? Like you just feel way cooler about me right now?
You're like, man.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not saying if you were my dad. Jaw. You're like, I'm not saying if you were my dad, I'd think you were awesome. But if you were my dad, you'd be fucking awesome.
High five. All right, let's get this mission cracking. I can see you can see the title for this one is Last Chance Connor.
Fuck, that already scares me, and I don't like that shit at all. I don't like this.
Last time Connor and Hank went to visit
Let's go back and see.
The creator,
There we go.
Kamsky,
Yep.
of all of the androids.
Oh shit, that's the last time we played with him. That's right. Wow.
With Connor, it was just two ago, right? So
right, only
so
2 missions
Kamsky and
ago,
Connor. Yeah, Kamsky and Connor. I'm sorry, Connor and Hank walked in there, saw that Kamsky knew the lady that Connor's been meeting with from his company, from what's it called, Initech? No, I'm just kidding. Initech's the office space.
Made that shit up,
that's a good callback to offices. Anyway, Kamsky was he was like basically saying
What's
like,
their company name?
I'm sure they will come back up.
Okay,
I forget
well
right
done.
now.
Well done.
Because it's been too long since we played this game.
Yeah,
but
I like it's been a week and we're like, I don't remember fucking shit what happened.
Almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks since we played.
Is it really? Okay, I feel better.
Yeah.
Now.
So so Kamsky was originally part of the company that made Connor, and then bowed out when he didn't like the way they were using them. He obviously believes that androids are really alive and should be respected like their life should be respected like human life, and so I think he would probably be on par with or on the same wavelength as what Marcus is fighting for.
Cyber life, right?
Cyber life. There you go. Good call. So so Marcus, in opposite to Marcus rather, Connor is kind of sworn to this life of trying to bring down the deviants right now, find out what's causing these androids to go deviant, start thinking for themselves.
It's kind of 2.0, by the way.
Like they got rights. Yeah. So it's
my Connor.
So Connor is. But this Connor 2.0 walks in and Kamsky puts a gun in his hand, points it at one of his
is it Sarah?
Friends that I don't think it was Sarah. It was something else. No, I think it's something else.
Well, it's the chick in the background right now. If you're looking at the screen, it's the chick in the background who kind of blew my mind when I realized that she was a character in the game, not just not just the fucking the opening, the start screen, kind of press start to play, right? All of a sudden I was like, oh shit, she's a character, that's awesome. And that
it's like in Westworld when you realize the chick that like he walks in and he meets that chick that like is the host, and then she actually ends up like later in the show being playing a part,
being like important. You're like, oh fuck, this game is awesome.
That's really cool, right? Yeah. So anyway, Connor is given a gun by Kamsky. He's like, if you really believe androids aren't alive and they don't mean shit, their lives doesn't mean shit, then just fucking pull the trigger.
Shoot her in the head.
Kill her, and I'll tell you shoot her in the head, and I'll tell you everything you want to know about these androids. It'll help you complete your mission. And Connor finds that he just can't do it. Right. Yeah. So so they walk out of there, and Hank
shows that he can't do it. I don't know if Connor couldn't do it. CraigMakk.
Well, Connor couldn't do it because CraigMakk is in charge of this story.
Yeah.
You are the storyteller, so Connor couldn't do it. And he walked out, and Hank is weirdly proud of him that he didn't do it, but at the same time he's like, why didn't you do it? And Connor can't explain it, and then the little symbols flash up indicating that Connor may be experiencing his first flashes of potential deviancy.
Yes, good call. You're right. I forgot about that part. I did forget about that. Was while they were walking back to the car, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, and so here we are now. In the last scene, by the way, Marcus has led a rally in the middle of the down the city. Has freed a bunch of the androids.
Freedom March,
and the Freedom March, and then police opened up on them even when they dispersed, and that was kind of how we left out. So let's see what Connor does now. And Last Chance Connor, as played and illustrated by CraigMakk. Don't you go get anybody killed today, CraigMakk.
All right, don't do that. Don't you put that bad juju on me, dude. Come on, man. I'm already freaked out. You know that.
Did you know Detroit was on the Underground Railroad?
Vic. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Fuck. I need more alcohol. All right. This has been a bad day for me right now. Watching that movie, and now I got to watch more androids die. I'm not ready for this. All right, we're loading right now. We're at 100%. Here we go. Oh shit, there's Connor. Oh, we're back into this. I like that shit. What the fuck? It's weird that it's like snowing now. Was it snowing last time? I don't remember. Alright, well. We will figure it out. Oh, a little chessboard? What's this all about?
believe it was snowing last time. I think the weather has been changing little by little.
Progressively worse.
Changing.
That's cool.
That could be a way to characterize it.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely wanted to try to play fucking. Oh shit. Okay. I wanted to play some chess. I thought that would be like a thing, but it's cool that they had a chessboard going on, which is obviously very.
Game, a little chess mini game.
Right. Yeah. Or the fact that it, like, obviously makes sense, like the idea that
after what happened today, the country's on the verge of a civil war. The machines are rising up against their masters.
Ooh, forgot to give the listeners or the watchers your code for Tavor so they could get $10 free, I think it is.
Yes.
So we'll do that after.
We will definitely throw that out there.
I was wrong.
I have to look it
Maybe
up.
he did. But you chose
Oh, why is Amanda
ask.
pissing me? Stop, Amanda.
I chose not to play
Why
his
didn't you
twisted
shoot
little
that
game.
android?
There was
there he
no
goes.
reason
Oh,
to
he's
kill
getting
that
more.
android.
He got more fucking. What's the word? Broke.
I'm not a unique model, am I?
What's the word?
Software instability, yeah,
are
it's
software
I
unstable.
don't
Yep.
see how that question pertains to
Oh,
your
she went from
investigation.
liking you to she's neutral on you now.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what to make of you
Because
anymore.
I'm saying all the shit.
Why did Kempsky leave
I'm saying all the
Cyberlife?
stuff to
What happened?
intentionally piss her
It's
off.
an old
Because fuck
story,
her at this
Connor.
point.
It doesn't pertain to your investigation.
Why is so? Explain to me, why is Connor trying to piss her off?
Not trying to piss her off, but
You didn't tell me
he
everything you know
is-
about deviants, did you?
Right.
I
He's
expect
breaking
you to
away
find
from
answers, Connor.
her programming, and I like
Not
that
ask
about him. Like
questions.
that's like I feel like at this point he is
You're the
up
only
to the
one who
story.
can prevent
He
civil
has realized that he's like, there's some other shit going
Find the
on, and you're not
deviants.
telling me the truth. And I
Or
like
there
that
will be
he's fucking
chaos.
calling her out, and I like
This is
giving
your
the
last
opportunity
chance,
to call her out. He would do that. You know what I mean? Like he is, he's woke enough to now be like, yo, just tell me what the fuck is happening, and she's not telling him. And so he's pissed.
But we're
She just told him, find the deviants.
Yep.
We just need more time.
It's
I'm
your
sure.
last chance, Connor,
Yep.
You don't get it.
or there will be
This
civil
isn't
war
just
and
another
chaos.
investigation. It's a fucking civil war. It's out of our hands now.
Relax, though.
We're talking about national security here.
Fuck that. You can't just pull the
Fucking
plug now. Not when we're so
Prototypical
close.
police
You always
chief.
say
You're
you
off
can't
the
stand there,
case.
George.
You
Jesus,
caused too
make
much
up your
property
mind. I thought
damage.
you'd be happy about
Hank.
it. You cracked the case.
Hank,
I know we can
what do you want me to
solve
do,
it.
Hank? Have a fucking
God's
donut
sake,
and
Jeffrey, can't you back me
relax.
up this one time?
Jeffrey. Who calls
There's
anyone
nothing
Jeffrey?
I can do.
Isn't it just
He's
Jeff?
got a point,
You're
though.
on homicide.
I don't understand. I thought you wanted to go back to drinking and not fuck around with androids. Why are you so pissed about this?
Why are you being such a dick, Hank? And he's like, fuck, I don't know. I like this kid. Version 2.0. He seems alright. His voice is super weird and it's funny to me.
Sorry, Hank. Take your grown-sized good guy doll and return him back to the fucking company.
Whoa, oh, we're shutting the window. Oh, he just shut the door. I love so it is well documented on this show. I love fucking Connor. Everything about him.
That's
I
right.
think I think he is
Start a Twitter campaign to shout him out.
he is literally one of the best actors I've like in a video game I have seen in a long. Oh, look at him sitting on the edge of the fucking table like a boss. I like it.
We can't just give up like that.
There you go.
I know we could have solved this case.
So, Hank, we gonna just go out like this? Go out like what? Like a bitch,
you're
Frank.
going back to
Hank.
Like a
Life.
bitch, Hank Frank.
I have no choice.
Hank Frank.
I like Hank Frank.
Yeah, it should be his name.
Deactivated and analyzed to find out why I failed.
Feels like it's
Oh, I like
mimicking
that. That
human
was
behavior.
cool. I like
We're on
that.
the wrong side, Connor.
That was cool. He was like, I'm gonna be
What if we're fighting
deactivated.
against people who just want to be free?
When the deviants rise up, there will be chaos.
Wow, that's deep.
We could have stopped it.
This is where you got to make
Now
a
it's too
choice
late.
Yeah,
about Connor.
I like this. Although I didn't
When
like
you
what I
refused
just
to kill
said.
that android at Kamsky's place,
Oh, nice. They're bringing it
put
back up.
yourself in her shoes. You showed empathy, Connor.
I did.
Empathy's a human emotion.
You're wrong, Lieutenant. It was logic that determined my decisions.
No.
Nothing more.
That's not what I wanted to say.
I'm not programmed to say
picked
things
cold,
like this,
though.
But
No, I said
I really appreciated working with you.
determined. Because I thought determined would be like, this is why I did
Might
it.
have even become friends.
Well, well, here comes Perkins, that motherfucker.
That
Sure don't waste any time at the FBI.
We can't give up. I know the answers and the evidence we collected. If Perkins takes it, it's all over.
There's no choice. You heard Fowler. We're off the case.
You've got to help me, Lieutenant.
I like this. I like this.
I need more time so I can find a lead
I
in the
love
evidence
how
we
he's getting
collected.
so hyped right now.
The solution is in there.
Listen, Connor.
If I don't solve this case, CyberLife will destroy me. 5 minutes. That's all I ask.
Oh, wow. That's cool. There's more of these, like, I just don't want to die. So, like, let me solve this case so I don't
on my
die.
desk. Get a move on. I can't distract him forever.
He's my friend now.
Fucking Hank's like, all right. I guess I could think of something to distract him.
I don't even know where they are. Come on, dude. Get out of here. Come on.
You hear him?
Fuck off! Leave me. I love him so much. Fuck off!
Hey, Connor. I'm talking to you, asshole.
What? Fuck
Where
you.
you going?
Hey, I think Hank took a swing at him,
Asshole,
right?
talking to you.
Come here, Perkins, you fucking asshole.
Alright.
Like, yeah, I got you, Connor. I'll get you 5 minutes.
You didn't give me 5 minutes. That guy was fucking on me in 35 seconds. Alright, where am I going? What am I doing? Let's go. Alright, show me. Get in. Dude, if he fucking gets destroyed, I'm gonna be super fucking pissed.
Hank's
I'm
password.
scared. Oh, fuck. Are you
What would a
serious?
hard-boiled eccentric police lieutenant choose?
What would a hard-boiled... fucking password. Yes!
Why didn't Hank tell him, though?
No, but it was fucking password, which is great. That's awesome.
Where is Jericho?
Shit.
The answer's here somewhere. Not much time. Gotta think. The deviant who took a child hostage.
Fuck, come on. Fuck. Stop showing this shit. What? Shit. What? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm looking at. Jest, what do I do? Tell me. Tell me, Jest, how do I beat this?
No way. You need to figure that out.
No, tell me.
Everything you needed was told to you, and I mean, the clues are there. You just gotta figure it out.
God damn it.
Rupert's diary, but it's useless. It's
Useless.
encrypted.
It's encrypted. Ah, Vic! Vic, Jess! Ah, this is the worst. I don't know what this means.
The truth is inside.
Oh, that's the dude that was the first dude that told me about Jericho, right?
What was it trying to tell me?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the guy you pulled out of the attic.
Yeah, that was the guy that we fought. God damn it! Fuck! Dude, this is really freaking me out.
You recognize our dignity,
I saw this
our
already.
hopes,
I
and
saw
our
this.
rights. Together, we can live in peace and build a better future for
Oh,
humans
this is the
and
worst. I
animals.
hate this. I'm gonna fail this, aren't
This
I?
message is the
Shit.
hope of a people.
I'm terrible when it comes
You
down to
gave
fucking
us life.
time fucking
And now the
crunches.
time has come for you to give us
You're
freedom.
good. Don't worry about the time.
Marcus, where are you hiding?
Where is he? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this game anymore. Frick. Alright. Okay, so I unlocked that. Deviant leader speech. What? Is there something over here? No? Oh, there we go.
One of the deviants that hacked the TV station.
Oh, that's the dude that. Yeah, okay. I
You must
remember
have
that.
known where the deviants are hiding.
How do I scan his ass? What? I don't even know what that means. 397.
That's the guy that shot up the room, remember?
Right, I remember him, but...
Yeah, that killed the old Connor.
Right, yeah. Oh, I don't know what I just did to him, but it didn't seem like it was fun. Oh, I put it back in? No. Take it out. Fuck. Vic. This game is stressful as fuck, dude. Right back in you. Right back in you, son. Oh, no. Shit! I don't know what the fuck to do, then!
Come on, man. It's right there.
Fuck. I need a decryption key? What are they talking about? Alright, dude. I don't want to play this anymore. I hate it. Oh, I hate this fucking game. Just take that fucking thing. Use that as a decryption key. Is that a decryption key? No. Come on! What the break it, dude. God damn it. Shit.
Jericho is somewhere in the Ferndale neighborhood.
Okay, good. We're good. We're good.
Now I can scan their memories and narrow the search.
Okay, let's go. What the fuck? What do I do now? No? I can't do shit with him yet. Shit! Oh! Fuck. Jess, tell me what to do, please. I don't want to ruin the game. Jess.
I'm not telling you.
Tell me what to do.
Your story will play out the way it's meant to do.
No!
I don't know why you keep putting the same part back in the guy's chest
damn
and
it!
pulling it out.
Fuck!
I really don't know what your plan is here.
I don't have any.
The guy doesn't
plan.
need that part that you have. Says it doesn't need that. Like, it's not a match. You pull the part out of the other android, and then you try to put it into the chest of the other android who already has that part.
Right. Detroit people mover map acquired. Okay. The truth is inside. I saw that. Need decryption key. What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, I don't know what to do. Oh my god, this is the worst fucking moment in this game right now. I don't know
For
what
you,
No, stop inserting it! It's not, I know it's not a match. I know it's not a match!
You have 3 minutes left.
Stop!
Which is plenty of time.
It's
But
not.
you gotta stop. You gotta calm down.
Oh, it's the worst. I hate this game. Alright, what do I do? But if I do this, it's just gonna put it back into him again. There's not anything else to do in this. Stop doing that! Okay, maybe I need to do that. I don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't know that was a thing I could do. Cool. Alright, let's try this. Can I do... There we go. There we go. Alright, cool. What? That's not a match either? Fuck you, game! You're not making any sense. You're not explaining anything to me, and it sucks. This game sucks, dude. I hate it. I hate this fucking game. Fuck. I got it. Oh, fuck you. Fuck, it's too... What? I don't want to put it back. The whole thing is I thought... Oh, God. To Jess.
You still have half of the time that you started with, which is plenty of time.
But I've done everything. There's literally all of the things in this room I can do. Insert, they say no, go eat a dick, and they're going to say that again. All right, cool. 4717G needed. Okay. I don't know what that means. Like, I can't convey enough to this game. I don't know what that means. All right, I'll put that back, I guess. There you go. It's back in him again. Okay. Take that. But I'm going to go over to this guy, and they're going to say, hey, guess what? He doesn't need that.
You pulled that same part out of his chest 5 times and tried to put it in the other guy. What do you think?
I get it. There's only 2 of them, though. There's only 2 of them in the room. I don't know. I stopped caring. Actually, I'm going to go on record as saying right now I don't care anymore.
You're going to attribute this to the game, and it's not the game that's not figuring it out. It's you.
That's very, very possible. But like I've done the two things: take this out of this guy and move it to this guy. And they're like, hey, guess what? That doesn't work. But I can't take anything out of this guy.
That guy needs 39, 38V, and the other guy needs what?
Yeah, but they won't let me take anything out of this guy. All I can do is take out of...
Are you sure about that?
Do you see an option that says I can take something out?
Don't you have in your hand right now? Don't you already have something in your hand right now, though? Why are you going to pull out another part when you still have another part in your hand?
Oh, I have to put it back in him and then do that? Oh, and then that's this game just being annoying.
No, that's you. That's you.
Okay, I'll put it back. I'll put it back.
I'm interested to see what happens if you don't do this.
Stop!
So, like, I don't want to help you.
Stop.
But I've already helped you way more than...
Oh, stop. Put it back. This is stupid. So I didn't even hit that button and they just fucking made me do that, but that's fine. Alright. If this guy, if I'm allowed to take something out of this, oh, well then, what?
What the fuck?
They never showed that option. Oh, well, I'm gonna lose just because, why not? Just put it in, is there...
I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Good, there we go. Finally.
It's dark.
I had to, just gonna go on record, I had to walk you through that.
Where am I?
Kinda not fair.
They never even showed me the option, though.
I need to
You should be able to figure that out. That's a basic
Tell
puzzle.
me how to get there.
I don't recognize your voice. You're not one of us. I'll never tell you where Jericho is. Now leave me alone.
Tell me now how to get to Jericho.
Go on, dude. Tell me now.
I told you to fuck off. Go to hell, Powers. I'll never tell you. Now you have to ask him 3 times.
Ooh,
I get really annoyed when people ask me 3 things. He's pumping his arm. He's like jerking his arm off.
Oh, this guy's a
Do
cock.
it, Gavin. I know how to stop the deviants.
You're off the case.
I'm kind of mad I helped you at all.
It's gonna be definitive.
Because I don't want fucking this guy to find out where fucking Jericho is.
What? Oh, fuck.
You failed both of those? Shit.
Failed a bunch. I hit those, but I don't know why they didn't give me that. That was dumb. I hit L1 and R1 simultaneously. That was fucking... Alright, this game can eat a fucking cock because I hit at least 3 of those that they didn't give me credit for. This game sucks. I actually don't like it.
Yo! I did not see that ending! Oh, shit!
Yeah. Alright, dude.
You
I'm
just
gonna go
got
on record
knocked the
saying,
fuck out.
Yeah, I don't... That was bad. It was bad because I fucking definitely hit at least 3 of the button prompts they told me to hit that they just didn't give me credit for. There was a couple.
You probably got them in late.
No, but like the L1 R1 one, I literally hit those the second they popped up. I hit them instantaneously.
You sure you didn't push anything else right before you put like maybe you were late on the last one and so that registered as your hit when the L1 R1s came on.
It's okay.
Oh wow.
It's fine. The game is what it is. It's fine. I disagree. I think it was bullshit, but it's fine. Maybe I fucked it up and that's fine. But I mean I definitely hit L1 R1, which was the one that I just got Connor fucking destroyed on, and this game can eat a fucking damn. Oh, it's so annoying. All right, let's play it out. All right, so last chance Connor. We always like to play out. First of all, I got 45%. What did you get?
Let's see. Pulling it up now. It's 49.
Okay. So public opinion is still supportive. Software instability is, question marks. Hank is my friend, and Amanda, I dropped her down to neutral. I remember I wasn't.
Yeah, you were antagonizing her.
I was like chill with her
you were
until
defiant.
I was intentionally defiant on that one. I was being.
I like that. I like the bold. You made a bold choice there.
Because
I think I remember being.
It felt Connor.
Yeah. Well, for me, the way I played, remember, and I kept like Connor pretty hardcore. Like fuck that, I'm a company man. Still like very deep into it. But that was when I talked to Amanda, I told her what she wanted to hear. Basically, I always kept a good relationship with her.
I did. Yeah. That was the moment where it felt like Connor would be like, "Yo, this is bullshit. Like this is like you're talking some shit right now." And I liked the moment where because we have talked about that I have always played Connor the way I feel Connor would be, right? And so Connor to me has always been a company man, and this was the first time where he felt like I actually felt like she was antagonizing him, and he was responding by being like, well, no, like, fuck you, because, like, I tried, but you're being a dick about it. And so, like, I liked the fact that they gave me the opportunity to have Connor be like, fuck off to Amanda, because he's like, look, you fucking keep sending me out here to do this bullshit, and I'm trying to do it, and then you're giving me shit about it when it doesn't go well, like, fuck off. And so that was kind of how I responded to her, like, where a guy who would be like, fuck you, like, you're just being a dick for no reason. And they gave you the opportunity to actually make those responses.
I can totally hear Brian Gart voicing that script too. Fuck you, you're being a dick for no reason.
You're being a dick. and I was down. I actually like that they gave you the options, because those options were good. Like, we've talked on the show that sometimes the options are like, you know, are they exactly what you want to say? Sometimes they're not, unless you're given a very binary choice. And this was clearly not a binary choice, yet it still covered all of the options that I wanted, which was be a company man, which I chose not to do, be a fuck off move, which I chose not to do, but be just kind of a little bit of a like, hey, how about you fucking come out here and run the case, Amanda, you fucking asshole, which was exactly the character I wanted to play, right? Like, how about you stop fucking questioning me and let me do what I fucking do? And all of the things I chose were exactly the way that played out, and I liked it. So that was cool.
Yeah, and the way, and just to give you an idea, like the way I was playing Connor was, I saw him as like company man, to the sense of like there's a clear chain of command from him, and he's not going to talk to Amanda that way. Just because he's programmed not to do it. He believes, he would see that as kind of like a deviant act or whatever. Right. But at the same time, he is having, at this point, because I think I played him, so he didn't shoot her either. He didn't shoot the let's pick a Kamsky's house either. So I think at that point, the seed was planted with him. He's starting to feel thoughts of deviancy, but there's no fucking way. Like, if anything, that'll make him tighten the shit more. Like, he's starting to question things, but there's no fucking way that he's gonna let Amanda allow or give her any kind of fucking inclination that he may be going rogue, because it's already bad enough that his lack of success so far is already kind of making her doubt him.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. So that was just the way I played it, but I liked watching you.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I went way more emotional. Like, I immediately responded as, and probably it's very possible. I don't know, because it's hard. Like, in the midst of when it's happening, are you responding as Connor, or are you responding as CraigMakk? And it is very possible that I responded more as I was like, hey, this is the way CraigMakk would be like, hey, I don't know what to tell you, Amanda, eat a fucking dick. Like, that's kind of what I like.
It's okay. It's okay for you to insert that into Connor, those parts of your personality.
Absolutely.
You were clearly making a choice.
Right.
While you were doing it, you were like, I'm playing him this way because. So I like that you were making those choices that were different from mine.
That was a very legit, like, that was a decision, and it played out the way it did, because I was kind of like, yo, dude, I'm Connor. I'm already fucking stressed out that I'm not, completing my mission. You're being a dick about it, and I kind of want to tell you to fuck off. And like, so the way that that played out was like, it made sense as Connor being annoyed, right? Like, because it felt to me, I was like, man, if I am playing you as a company man and I'm annoyed, then like, you should respond in kind, right? He should respond, like, meaning the character should also be fucking annoyed. If I'm annoyed and I'm like going out of my way to make you look like the fucking most I'm down with the fucking sickness character there is, then fuck you. He should say fuck off to her. And so when they gave me the opportunity to do that, I was like, all right, this is cool. I'm down with this. Like, so it was fun. It was fun to play. And it was also fun for me hearing you respond to me being where you were like, oh fuck, you're all right, you're going for it. All right, well done. Like that part was fun to me to hear you kind of be like, cool, I guess you're fucking telling her to fuck off. That's pretty cool. So that was a fun opening, sequence to that mission.
That was one of the most couch co-op moments of this whole one-player game. That's not a couch co-op game.
Right.
It was me like in your ear, like, you sure you want to do that, Mac? Yeah, fuck that bitch.
I was like,
okay.
Yep, she's the fucking worst. You're like, all right, let's see what happens. So that was a fun moment, I think, because normally you've done a pretty decent job of like, I'm gonna withhold my judgment until after the mission's over, and that was like the first real time where like your response has been pretty much like in real time. Like in real time, you were like, oh, fuck, all right, you're doing that, and I was like, yeah, I am. Hit triangle, because fuck off, Amanda. And you were like, all right. Whereas normally you'll wait till we get to this point, and then you'll be like, okay, so this is why I thought what you just did was fucking crazy. And I'm like, that's cool that like you straight up, like the decisions I made were different enough that they actually made you feel something, or not feel something. It made you feel a response enough to say something while it was happening live, which was kind of like that makes it more fun, right? About the whole. That's why we're playing this, right? Is to see what the responses are of me versus you. So let's see what happens. So that
just wanted
cool.
to see my choices replayed again. I could have just done that.
Right, exactly. So that's cool. So that was a good one. All right, so do you want to just dive right into the breakdown so I can get really pissed about how shitty I was in this one? All right, here we go. All right, so we got to the start. So I just talked to Amanda, which, whatever. Did you do either of the two unlocks above it or below?
Yeah, the bottom is visit Graves, and I don't remember who Graves is. Oh, Graves? Or maybe it's visit Graves.
Actual physical Graves of. Oh, it might be because your dude died. Yeah, it might be your dude died that my guy did not.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
Wait.
What?
The other way around. It's the other way around. Your Connor died. Mine didn't.
No, but it could be your dude. Remember the dude that got killed during the thing? Oh, no, because you wouldn't know him. No, because, but your guy wouldn't know Simon. That's right.
Yeah.
Connor wouldn't know
I don't remember what graves I visited, but it was probably like an additive. You had walked around the landscape and not walked directly to Amanda.
Right,
You might have found them.
And that's the one below or above?
Below.
Below. Okay, so we don't know what the above one is. All right. So now that was literally the only options were to do that, visit the graves, and something else. So then in the police station, Fowler and Hank argue, and then I did Jericho's location is unknown. 97% of people. Do you have the 3% of people that know where it is?
Let me see. Really, 97% of people do? Oh, yeah. Fowler and Hank argue, and I guess at that point Jericho's location is unknown. So it wasn't referring to the end of it. It was just like at that point you don't know where it is.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So there might have been an opportunity where something that 3% of people triggered something that allowed the location to be known.
Right. I mean, it's a big lock, so it could have been a thing that like maybe you had to have done it, at an earlier sequence. We don't know. Like it could have been something different.
More of a fuck up. It sounds like more of a fuck up on the part of Marcus or
right.
Cara. Probably more Marcus.
If they had done something wrong to allow you to figure it out. So then I got sufficient evidence, 95%. I did not get whatever goes above, the high one, and I didn't get the one above sufficient evidence. Do you have either one of those two?
I have. No, that was the only one. Sufficient evidence is what I had.
Okay. So whatever the top one is was an ender. It was a game ender. So obviously you didn't want that to happen. So obviously Jericho's location unknown, the one above that would have led to a thing that is actually bad for you, because it looks like it ends in the episode ending.
It could have just been like, we know where it is, we're going after it.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Actually you're right. Yeah, it could have just ended with they know where it is, and then he just says I'm out, and that's the end of it, and you didn't have to deal with the fucking stupid shit fucking fic cop coming after you that I did. So, all right. So Hank goes to his desk, 86%. That's what I got. Do you have that too?
Do you hear me?
Yeah. Did you get whatever?
Same.
Oh, you do? Okay. So
Same.
then I talk to Hank, and then it goes to Perkins arrives, 95%.
Same.
Hank wants to help, 61%.
Same.
Okay.
That probably just depends on their relationship, which we both had a pretty good relationship
right.
at that point.
Hank punches Perkins, 61%. Okay, so 100% of people where Hank wants to help ended up with Hank punches Perkins. And then create a diversion.
Great way to help him, Mike. What'd you think about that, by the way? I thought that was really cool.
I thought it was awesome. Like, I mean, it made me love
Give me 5
Hank.
minutes. And Hank's like, yeah, I think I can think of something to get you 5 minutes. And also check a box I've been wanting to check.
Right, yeah, exactly. He's like, fuck this guy, so we're good. So create a diversion is 95%. So it looks like there was another way you could have created a diversion that wasn't Hank punching Perkins, which is clearly the best version of a diversion, right? Like Hank's just fucking punching, just straight decking him in the face. All right.
That probably comes from Hank doesn't want to help or doesn't want to get involved, and then you got to do it yourself.
Right. So create a diversion, take the key, rush to the basement. Gavin yells. I ignored Gavin. 44%. Did you do that too?
All of that. Same.
That was the only move, right? Is like fuck off to that guy. And then Gavin. So that actually didn't work well for me though because it made Gavin suspicious. 66%. I went down to the basement. I got into the evidence room, which 95% of people did.
I'm same all the way through right now.
I guessed Hank's password right out the gate.
Same.
Yep. I love it. What was it? Password, like fuck password 123 or something like that. It was pretty funny. It's pretty good. Unlock the evidence. So I found Jericho's location. Okay, so this is where shit gets fucking crazy with the amount of the fucking. Look at that. I mean, that is how many things could fucking happen. That is an insane fucking flowchart. All right, so let me run through them. So I used a friendly approach in the interrogation. I found in the nest. I found in partners. And I killed in public enemy. I don't know what that means.
Oh, you killed somebody during the public enemy.
Oh, that's a different episode. Yeah, an earlier episode where somebody got killed. Okay, so these are the. Oh, that's why they're the yellow unlocks because these are.
Simon got killed in public enemy.
No, but for me, he didn't. Remember, Simon lived.
No, he killed himself. Remember?
Oh, you're right.
No,
okay.
You ran into him no, didn't you run into him later?
Because he came back. Yeah, he came back. Remember, he like shows up and he like hugs me.
Yeah, so somebody got killed in public enemy, but for you it was Stratford Android.
Okay, so that's why they're all yellow unlocks because the yellow unlocks mean they are things that took place in like decision-making breaks, like the big unlocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they're yellow, that means like, oh, decisions you made in earlier episodes that are, like
unlocking choices for you here.
Right. They unlock a moment for you that are different than. All right, so.
Well, yellow unlocks wise, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I have the same in the use friendly approach and interrogation, found in the nest, and found in the partners. Those are all the same.
Okay.
Then
I've killed in public.
you scroll down.
Yep.
Okay. The next one is. So one of those unlocks for me, the second unlock is killed in Eden Club. Remember that's the one where you didn't find them, but I ended up killing
the girls.
The girls.
Partner,
so they showed up on my wall. Their bodies were both on my wall.
Oh, on that wall that I was just searching between the two bodies?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool as fuck. Okay, that's cool.
So that also probably had something to do with like certain parts being available and not being available.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so if I go back to,
and then the only other one for me was killed in public enemy. So it's the only one I had that you didn't was killed in Eden Club.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's all based on shit that happened to you, and whether or not you saw a thing. All right, so use friendly approach and interrogation. I got Carlos's Android memory, which is 33%. I got Daniel's body is there, 95%.
I got both of those as well.
Found in the Nest is Rupert's Diary, which I listened to, was 84%. Found in Partners, I got Carlos's Android statue, which is 92%.
Same
that
here.
was the statue. And then under that is Marcus's Broadcast, which we all saw that. I was, when I gave the speech, that was 95%. And then Killed in Public Enemy was Stratford's Android body, which 66%. Stuck to the wall. All right, so I reactivated that deviant. He was 53%.
Oh, by the way, for me, for the Killed in Public Enemy, Simon's body was on the wall.
Not the androids. Okay, that's cool. So you're the one.
And for the Eden Club, I had the body of a blue-haired Tracy and the body of a brown-haired Tracy, both up on my wall.
Nice, because those are the two you killed, right? Well, you killed
and then
one,
we got
and the
into
other one killed herself.
Yeah, herself, right. And then I reactivated the blue-haired Tracy, and I talked to her. And those 27% of his body. By the way, the bodies of those blue-haired Tracys, 37% of the people had up on the wall. And out of those 37%, 27% managed to reactivate the blue-haired Tracy and talk to her.
Nice.
And that was me. So basically now I'll explain to you kind of like the puzzle that you were supposed to figure out. Obviously, like, so you look at one of those bodies and it says this part is needed. It didn't tell you part, but it gave you a number.
Right.
It was needed. But you should have been able to tell that because all the other parts on the Android were labeled in numbers.
Yeah,
so
I didn't realize
I think it took you a while to figure that out.
Yeah. That part,
and then,
I missed the numbers until like
to the very end.
Well, until I realized I was like, oh shit, when I like pulled the fucking thing out of the neck for like the 17th time, and I was like, oh, there's a number associated with that. Let me go look at the other one. And then I was pissed because I was like, when I walked over to him the first time, they didn't show me the option. Like I didn't get a
because you were already holding a part in your hand.
Right, exactly. So that's where I fucked up because I first was like, they didn't show me that chance, but it was because I clicked on the first fucking thing and pulled it out of the other guy, and they wouldn't let you hold more than one thing at a time, which I was like, all right, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, from fairness perspective,
it's a video game thing. It's a video game thing. It's a video game thing.
But why would you pull his heart out and then walk around with it in your hand? It would have made it harder for you to pull the other part out from the other Android.
It wouldn't. Like, in all reality, I could yank out multiple hearts out of androids and be like, oh, this one's going to go to the... Like, when a guy's building a car or, like, rebuilding a car, he's not like, I can only hold one piece of fucking, like, one fucking, carburetor at a time. You'd be like, I can pull that one out, too, and realize that I'll be able to make it work. Like, it'll be fine. My hands can hold one more than one. But it is a video game thing, and I'm okay with that. What?
Aren't carburetors big?
Are you really trying to defend their video game bullshit right now?
I'm just saying, I don't know, but yeah, you're right. At the very least,
the point is, your hands aren't going to be like, I don't know how to hold. I don't know how to hold more than one thing at a time. Like, you'd be like, I can do it if I need to do it. So it was like, it was very video gamey, which is fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the time, I hated it, and I was mad about it because I was like, this doesn't make sense that you're like not giving me the option to do it. Right now, after having played it, I'm like, all right, yeah, no, it was you made a video game decision, and that shit is as dumb as I think it is. That's okay and it makes sense because I've played video games before and I understand how they work, and that's usually how they work. Is it's like, oh, put this thing down before you can pick that thing up because like your fucking inventory can only hold one thing at a time.
Right.
I was like, all right, now it makes sense to me. At the time, I was like, fuck you because you're not like surfacing that information. And you're also making it be very time sensitive, which is more annoying to me. Like, because you're choosing to not explain the rules at the same time that you're telling me that the rules have a time limit for me to figure them out, and that was annoying. But like, that's some video game bullshit. So I'm like, okay.
That's a puzzle though, man. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, to me, I've seen that done a lot of times, and it's fair.
And that's
figure
my
out
point.
The rules.
I'm like, I think it's dumb, but I think it makes sense in the world of this is a video game fucking, puzzle. So like, I think it's
I've
stupid.
been in real life escape the room situations where they would it was you had to figure out what the rules were, and then once you figured them out, you had to figure out how to correctly apply them to beat the puzzle.
And so that's why I'm like, I think it's dumb. I want to stress that I think it's dumb, but I think it makes sense in the world of this is a fucking video game, and video game rules apply. So that's fine. So that's why, like, when I finally did realize I wasn't like, oh, this game sucks. I was more like, oh, no, okay. Like, yeah, you're a game. That fucking, I'm annoying because I didn't figure it out, and this game is annoying because your game is fucking stupid. But your stupidness does not make the game not make sense. Like, the game made sense within your own rule set. I just think that the rule set is annoying because I'm like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Why can't I pull this thing out?
Right, I was like, man, he has two fucking hands. Like, he should be able to be like, I'm gonna hold this fucking heart in this hand and this fucking brain stem thing in the other hand. Like, we'll be all right. I can figure it out. I'll be able to hold both. But after I did it, I was like, okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. Like, we're playing a video game, and that's okay for like video games to be stupid. And so that's why I was like okay with it. Once I figured out what it was, I was like, okay, yeah, we're doing that. That's fine.
I'd like to think you would have got it anyway within the time constraints, but I do regret giving you hints at all because, like I said, I want you to play this.
Do you think your hints made the difference though?
Well, I was the one that was saying you're still holding in your hand the heart from the other dude. And then you were like, "Oh, well." So yeah, I think I saved some time. At the least, I saved some time.
You are right because at that point that was the thing that made me be like, "Oh, this is okay." So the game is saying I can't hold both at the same time, so I have to put this back in so I can walk over there and pick it up. And because I remember yelling at the TV at that point, I was like, "Yeah, but I walked over to that guy and they didn't let me pick anything up." And you were like, "Well, that's because you have a thing in your hand." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I guess, okay." If we're playing that,
and I was like sitting there listening to you like do that, and then it was kind of making me feel like not bad for you, but if this episode and everybody on watching it is just gonna listen to you bitching at the game and like upset, like I don't want that to kind of, I don't know, but it like there was the part of me that was like.
Did you do?
Yeah, I wanted for the good of the show, kind of like because you were starting to devolve into like you did the first time around with the fucking strip club thing. We're like, you know what? Fuck this! With like a minute left in the time period.
I'm pretty sure I was aggressively fuck this. Like I didn't because I made it very clear I don't like the weird fake time limit. Like bullshit in this game. I actually don't like that.
This was a legit time. I mean, there was a reason there was a time constraint.
I still don't like it. I think it's dumb gameplay, right? Like I think when you just like
because you give anybody enough time, you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
So what they wanted to force you to do is put pressure on it.
Yeah, but
there has to be a chance of you failing, so the story takes a different turn, right?
But let it just be that I fucked up.
Or else, why have you do a puzzle at all? Then,
I've played plenty of games where the puzzle is just it's smart enough where you might actually never figure it out given infinite time, and I actually think that's better story.
Not in this context. This is supposed to be a butterfly effect movie thing that happens no matter whatever choice you make.
I've played a game like The Witness, right? The Witness, where it is, dude, like CraigMakk, we will give you infinite time. You just might not be smart enough to figure this out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the pacing of this game is not meant to be like a situation like one of those games where you could literally you're just stuck for hours until you figure it out.
Right.
They're like, no, we're giving you 5 minutes and we're moving on.
But that also allows
and you're gonna live with your choice.
But that also allows me to hate when they artificially force a time limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think they gave a good enough reason to justify the time limit.
Yeah, but I can also hate it.
Yeah.
You are correct. You are correct in saying I'm probably a pussy for hating it, and that's totally fine. But what I'm saying is I will also feel 100% okay being like, All right, well that was just dumb that you like enforced this weird like all of a sudden my guy's like right hand works but his left hand doesn't. So that's confusing in a way that doesn't make sense to me. So like if you want to do that, totally nailed it. You good. Do what you need to do. I'm also allowed to sit on the other side of the room and be like, stupid, this is dumb and it doesn't make sense. And like that's kind of what I did, which is like, yes, does it make me look like a gigantic fucking bitch? Yeah, it totally did. Like I
think I would have preferred to hear you express your discontent about the game, being stupid, or those choices being stupid after failing. You know what I mean? Rather than like almost like going that route with 2 minutes left. And that's why I kind of jumped in like, all right, well, you're starting to, you get like, than just
you wanted me to keep trying and then fail and then tell everyone why I was pissed?
Yeah, just because I just didn't want people watching to sit there for 2 minutes listening to you. Proactively. Like, this game is stupid. I fucking hate this fucking game. It's stupid.
Well, no, I didn't say it was this game is stupid. All I said was I was like, all right, I stopped caring. Which is like
Which probably wouldn't have been fun to watch for anybody. 2 minutes left.
For a minute. I mean, it was a minute and a half, right? They would have been all right. It wasn't like they were like, you have 60 minutes left, and I was like, well, eat a dick. I'm gonna just sit here. Like then, yes, that would have sucked for everybody. But like the fact that there was fucking like 47 seconds left at that point when I was like, oh, we're going to play bullshit games? Okay, I don't care anymore. And, like, you were like, I'm going to walk you through it. That's okay. I mean, like, thank you for
I didn't completely walk you through it. I just, gave you a hint. But I kind of, like absolutely. I said, I pretty much, in the future, I would like for, like, my human emotions caught up with me and said, oh, just fucking help him out because he's fucking freaking out about it. And he's
I love that you're like, he's freaking out. I was not
he's not enjoying the game.
I was not enjoying
he's not enjoying the game at this point. And he's blaming the game. And, so I'm just going to,
I wasn't blaming the game. I was just saying I don't like when they do that. But also, in my defense, right, and this is like whatever, you can disagree or not, like, I have been very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very consistent in the things about this game that I don't like, and they are when they do these weird fucking all of a sudden time is of the essence, and I'm like, well, okay, but like make it make sense, and not just because you told me there's a time limit. Because like you said, oh, this made sense because they were like, oh, well, the cops are going to come downstairs. I'm like, well, yeah, you made that shit up. Like, the time that made sense, the time I loved it, and I actually thought it was amazing, and almost thought I fucked up and was totally fine with it, was the time where they were like, you're going to get fucking, your brain's going to get erased in fucking 40 seconds. Like when I was down in the bad guy, whatever his name is, I forgot his name already. Like when that dude was like, I'm erasing your brain in the next 40 seconds. And I was like, fuck, that actually makes sense. Like that is storytelling, and that makes sense. But like the two times where it happened that I hated were the times that like, we're going to delete the computer system in the next minute. And I was like, well, dumb. Okay. Because if I was a cop, I would just call and say, stop doing that. And in this case,
in this case, the FBI agent showed up. He's on the case. You guys are thrown off, and Connor's been ordered to leave. So Connor, like, really literally did have a limited amount of time to get in there before this other motherfucker.
My argument would also be that Connor would be like, hey, guess what? I know they got thrown off the case. I just found out some new shit that you don't know. Let's just follow this to the end. And even if that guy was like, well, I have to follow it, you can't, Connor would be like, all right, I mean, cool, yeah, all right, here's all the information. You're good. You follow it then. But the fact that it was like, oh, God, we have to do this and this.
He was going to get fucking deleted and fucking...
Well, no, that wasn't going to happen. No. As far as we know, his fear was that he's like, if I fail this case, I'm going to get deleted. But he was not going to get deleted in the next minute. Because we know for a fact.
Once he reported, he was supposed to report back to Cyberdyne. And he told him,
once he reported back,
he told Hank, I'm gonna report back, and they're gonna fucking examine my memory and decommission me.
So the basement, like fucking crazy bullshit that just happened, he didn't have to report to them. It wasn't like he was going to report to them and they're going to delete him while he was in the basement. The race was because that guy was going to come down the stairs and say, hey, Connor, what the fuck are you doing down here? Which I was like, that's fake and dumb. Because, like, we could just tell that guy to go fuck himself. Whatever. Okay, this is a CraigMakk thing.
Yeah.
That shit felt fake and dumb, right? You think it felt You think it felt good, and that's fine. Like, so my point is, there are moments in this story where the time sensitivity made sense, and I loved it. And there are moments in this story where the time sensitivity did not make sense, and I did not love it. And I guess my only point is that I'm saying the moments that didn't make sense to me, CraigMakk, not to you, but to me, I have been pretty consistent with, right? Like I've given my reasons why I think they're stupid and I didn't like them, and this fell into that same story, kind of bullshit hole that I didn't like. You thought it made sense, and that's cool. So that's why the moment made more, or it connected with you better, right? It, like, you were like, oh, this shit is good and it's good for the story. Whereas to me, I'm like, oh, it's dumb. And so then when it didn't work out for me, I was also even more annoyed that I was like, oh, well, this is dumb because it doesn't make sense. But that's not to say that, like, I am right and you're wrong, or that you're right and I'm wrong. It's just like, it's how we perceive the situation, right? Did we think it made sense? Did they earn the moment? To you, you said yeah. To me, I'm like, maybe no. But that's fine. I think it's still good in general in terms of, like, it's a puzzle that landed and it made sense. Like, it was a puzzle. The time sensitivity of it, I wasn't like, fuck you, game. I was more just like, sell it a little bit more to me so that it makes sense why my guy's running around fucking freaking out. And then obviously, if we want to jump ahead to the point where that other dude shows up, like, that, obviously the time sensitivity made sense because that guy's like, I'm going to shoot you, even though I was like, why? But all right, I guess you're mad. That's fine. Like,
well, he wanted him to step away from the evidence, and he was like, you're tampering with my evidence. And then this machine is now ignoring him. And so he's like, oh, okay, fine. Then I'll just fucking break you because you're a machine. And I don't give a fuck.
Right, which to me, well, yes, you're right. I get it. Yes,
if anybody would have questioned him, he would have been like, yo, your fucking android just fucking went deviant on me and tried to tamper with the evidence. When I ordered it away, it disregarded orders.
Even
he
though
had no authority to be here.
His argument would be that he's like, that would be like saying that a cop who is like, hey, I'm just trying to check this thing out because I found out a link to this, I'm about to break the case that you didn't realize, and you're like, but you're fucking tampering with evidence, so I'm going to shoot you. Seems a little bit like, that seems a bit aggressive.
I don't think that he believed the android from the beginning. And remember, this guy's kind of like a prick. He's been like, why is this
the fit guy, right?
I don't, they both kind of have very similar, like, weird accents, and, like, right? One of them is the police, like so one of these dudes is hold on, what's their names again? So the guy that they tell fuck off is Gavin, right? Gavin? Versus Gavin. The Hank punches Perkins, so I think Perkins is the guy that's on the force that Hank doesn't like.
Oh, is he the fit guy?
Remember that, like, I think he's the fit guy. I think the FBI agent was the dude that they met at the tower.
So
that was like, don't fuck up my crime scene.
As long as we got the punch.
That's why, like, Hank
Perkins.
Punching him I thought that was super satisfying.
So Gavin
when Connor was like, I need a diversion, he was like, no problem, I'm going to take this opportunity to fucking smack this motherfucker that I hate.
So 100% of people, by the way, located Jericho, and 100% of people had Gavin return.
That can't be right.
It says on my screen right now. It says.
Or do you have it on? Did you accidentally? Yeah, you hit friend stats. That's why.
Oh, wait.
So hide stats, then go back to world stats.
World stats. Okay, you're right.
World star.
Okay.
Yeah, because 92% located Jericho out of that.
Oh, mine. Yeah.
So you were risking being part of the 8% that couldn't figure out that you had to take a fucking part from one guy and put it in the other guy.
Right. Okay, good. But I nailed it, though. So
but luckily, you made it.
Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. I nailed it. Right. So 64% of people.
I say this lovingly. Get good.
I appreciate it. Get good at games. GGG. Get good at games. All right. So Gavin returns. 64% of people had that shit happen.
I feel like it would, not to rub it in, I feel like it wouldn't be our show if I didn't razz you a little bit about that.
No, dude. I 100% agree with you that you should make fun of me for that. But so part of me wants to know what all of that shit in the middle that I have, like, highlighted on the screen right now, that, like, is below break statue and above reactivate deviant. There's so much shit that could happen.
Let me go through ours.
Do you have any of that?
So below break statue, Remember, I told you under the Carlos Android statue, there's the blue hair Tracy and the brown hair Tracy.
Right.
Then I didn't do anything with the brown hair Tracy, which was the second one, but I did reactivate the blue hair Tracy, which would have been
that's in that whole section. Okay.
Yeah, and then talk to the Tracy, which is a 27%.
Nice. Okay.
And then I broke the statue like you did and retrieved the map, but I didn't get anything on the top part. And then I linked the map to the other evidence. Yeah.
Right.
Which you
so
seem to have done.
13% of people, like that's kind of incredible that like the breaking the statue was only 15% and retrieve map was 15%. Obviously that's everybody. But then of the 15% of people that retrieve map, only 13% of people linked that map to the other evidence.
Yeah, what the fuck? There's a 2% There's a 2% difference there.
They were like, I don't fucking know. This seems interesting, but
all right, well I got the map, but I'm not gonna do anything else with it.
Right, I'm just gonna walk back.
And I didn't manage, like there were other options for like when I examined the Marcus broadcast, it must have been something we could have done with it, and I didn't figure it out. I looked at Simon's body, but I didn't end up resuscitating Simon or the brown hair Tracy. So I think I just focused once I got the one Tracy, she told me something, but then it just kind of stopped there after I talked to her. But I think the map was the big deal. I managed to locate Jericho, right. And I think that was probably forcefully from the arm of one of them, the same way you did, I think. Gavin returned.
Yep.
When we fought Gavin, and then I won the fight at 60%. So only 60% of people that fought. Gavin returned to 64%.
3% of people lost the fight.
4%, right? Lost.
So Gavin destroyed Connor.
3%.
Fuck this.
Yeah, that fucking shot. I was really shocked to see that.
Yeah.
But like I said, so for me, so here's something that might make you feel better. Again, remember, Connor was there to try to find out where the fuck Jericho was, to enable these motherfuckers to go raid Jericho.
Right.
So with him gone, or him being like Gavin just fucking destroying him, despite the fact that like it's like I was kind of part of me, like I said, I didn't want you to be frustrated with the game, but I did kind of want Connor to fail because I didn't want him to figure out where Jericho was. Right. And you know, in watching you play it through, because in mine he did figure out where Jericho was, and in mine Connor incapacitates Gavin, so he wins the fight 60%, and then he incapacitates him 60%, and that's where it ends. So Connor can take that information and do what he wants. So then yours, it seemed like Connor finally got the information, which I was kind of rooting against, you know, but it seems like you may have avoided Connor outing all of the androids at Jericho by having him killed.
Hey, by the way, sidebar, I don't want to play this game drunk anymore because I'm really bad at the fucking the fucking like press the button when they fucking pop up on the screen QuickTime bullshit.
I warned you about
that.
Fuck
this, man. Why'd you not tell me this shit earlier? Why don't you tell me there was going to be an epic fucking QuickTime event at the end? Because I will tell you. In my version, like as this thing goes on, those button presses become more frequent, harder. You have to make split-second decisions, and they're life and death. And I made an error in one of mine that got one of my characters killed. I think I told you. Right. I won't tell you who yet, but that's what makes this. Right from here on out, I'm only playing this game at fucking 3:00 in the afternoon when I have not drunk anymore. I have not had any alcohol whatsoever.
With like a 5% session beer, 4% session beer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm playing this game only fucking super sober because now
you've got Connor killed twice.
Fuck this game, dude. I don't want to play it anymore. Can we end it right now? Can we be like, hey, welcome to the end?
Hey, we're in the final stretch.
Dude, if by final stretch you mean CraigMakk is done with this fucking game because that really bothers me. Fuck you,
Just
Connor.
hang in there a little longer. Story's almost over.
That last button really pissed me off because I definitely nailed the left one R1 shit, and they fucking did not give it to me, and that fucking bothered me. Because I'm like, oh, the other shit I will legitimately acknowledge, like when they were like, oh, press a square or whatever, like, or jiggle the fucking controller. I missed all of those. But the one I was like, fuck, I nailed this one, and they didn't give it to me, and it makes me fucking be like,
it could have been a chain reaction from like you pressed late on the last one, which made it register for the L1R1.
Register behind. That's possible. You're right. It's very possible. But fuck this game, man. God damn
it. I can see, especially it's your favorite character getting wiped out like that.
Far and fucking way. and like him getting shot in the fucking face. Like he's the only
That
one
was
that
brutal.
I feel like maybe.
That was fucking brutal, man.
Maybe they're gonna.
I gotta
me
say,
again.
I felt something.
Right.
I felt something on that. Like, you know, the motherfucker, like, he's bang. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah.
Also, like, fuck you, Gavin. Stop being a dick. I'm the
Gavin?
only one. I'm the only fucking one doing shit. Like, I'm the only. Connor's the only fucking one accomplishing fucking shit in this fucking entire investigation. And this fucking asshole,
FBI.
Gavin, shows up and he's like, hey.
Jurisdiction.
No, hey, I'm gonna open fire now. I was like, what? What the fuck are you? Maybe have a conversation with him for 5 seconds, you fucking idiot. Fuck
Jurisdiction, motherfucker.
Ah, fuck this game, dude.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that should happen. That was a bummer. I'm sorry, everybody who had to watch me suck at games. I don't know if you.
Well, that should
noticed
happen.
the bottom,
on the back
by
of the
way.
T-shirt.
Yeah. Welcome to Ready Player 2, where one jerk drunkenly plays video games and the other one berates him for being bad at them.
Berates him. Yeah.
Should be our
On
new
this, I was like,
thing.
well, Craig, it's not the game. You're fucking up, Craig. I just want you to know that. You're a fuck up, Craig. All right? Just make sure that you understand that.
Craig, just get good. I'm like, fuck.
Fuck! I definitely, I tell my wife, I have this thing I do that pisses her off. I go, you got to read. You got to read. And then I say her name, and then she throws things at me actively.
That does sound actually very annoying, and I would hate her. I would hate if you did.
If she messes something up, and I'm like, you should have read the instructions. You got to read.
Right.
You got to read. Yeah, she throws something.
Most important thing. How many missions do I have left, considering I murdered the greatest character in this entire game?
I don't know, but it's not that many. I don't know how many exactly, but it's not that many. I can tell you that much.
Is Connor coming back, or did I kill him for real?
I don't know. I've never done Connor killed.
My
Connor was still 1.0 all the way through.
Oh, that's right. Holy shit. I've murdered him twice, and you are fucking living the original dream. Fick this game. All right, dude. Here's the deal. Everybody listening to this, I want to go on record as saying I hate this game, and I'm having a really good time playing it. So thank you, Jess, for fucking forcing me to play this fucking mess of a game.
Thanks for being a good sport.
Terrible at games. I'm terrible at games when I get drunk. I need to stop playing games that require QuickTime events when I'm drunk. And other than that, I feel like
drunk and tired. We were playing this late at night.
Successful moment though for us. This has been a good night. We got to share like our thoughts about fucking like sad ass
Bradley
fucking
Cooper,
movies,
how dreamy he is.
How much I love Bradley Cooper when he gets long hair. Is fucking great. He's a good looking motherfucker. You talked a little bit about how much you talk shit to your wife by saying, what did you say to your wife?
You got to read.
You got to read.
Thankfully, she doesn't follow this.
Perfect.
The Ready Player 2. Because I would definitely be catching a bottle on the back of my head.
When you talk about like our actual podcast, she would hate you right now. But when you're talking about the fucking Ready Player 2, you're like, oh, I get to say all kinds of shit about my wife because she's never gonna hear it.
My wife, I get to bore at her.
My wife. On that note, thank you very much, dude. This has been an awesome night.
Yeah.
This is a good 2 hours of my life that made me more depressed than I was out of A Star Is Born. So thank you for fucking me up. Happy Mother's Day out there to anyone who's listening to this. I apologize that you are wasting your time.
But not to Connor's mother because you just lost your son.
That just actually really just hurt my feelings again. I thought I was over it, and now I apparently am not.
Stupid Gavin.
All right, Gavin. Fuck you, Gavin. Fuck you. I hope your
mom. Fuck you, Gavin. And on the back of the T-shirt.
I hope your mom hates you. On the back.
I hope your mom hates you, and on the back of the T-shirt.
No, I'm okay with "fuck you, Gavin" on the back of the T-shirt. Life in the Man Cave.
You, Gavin.
All right, dude. Anyway, this has been an amazing Ready Player 2. I have enjoyed all of the moments that have happened tonight, except all of the moments that happened in the game. That was the worst. But all of my interactions with you, Jess, have been amazing. I've enjoyed all that shit.
Good times.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Live from the Man Cave. You can check us out. Like we said earlier, our Discord server is available right in the chat. Our Live from the Man Cave website, www.livemancave.com. All the shit we do. I am CraigMakk.
Would you want to give me your code for Tavor?
Oh, yeah.
Code.
Yeah, let me throw that. I did not throw that out. You're right. Good call.
By the way, we do not get paid advertisement dollars for Tavor. It's just some shit that we use.
We just enjoy
like really
the fuck
fucking
out of it.
Awesome. Yeah.
My code is, here we go, Do you want to throw out yours too? Unless you want to get like.
Nah, you're good. You got them. You're the guy that. Yeah, you're good.
All right. It is...
But you get you'll get Craig like a discount. I think you'll get like a
$10
nice
off.
strong discount too.
You will get $10 off your first order if you put in the referral code 448136. So put that code in.
Referral code for Tavor, and it's what is it? 448136. 136, and that is now in our chat.
There you go.
Go check out Tavor, the app. Get some beer. Thank us later.
I do feel like next episode we're gonna have to give your code out just so you get some points too, because I feel like you should
That's cool. It's whatever.
You should also get quality, money off on your shit, and let the people get their money off on their shit. This is $10 off. So that code gives you $10 off your first order. So throw that in there. You will get $10 off. I will get $10 off, which allows me to get more drunk and fuck up more at this game, which is like a win for everybody. Like, I feel like win for you with free beer, win for you also because you get to watch me suck even more and watch, I don't know, let's say Marcus dies next time. Who fucking knows? Because I'm bad at video games. Anyway, thank you very much. I am CraigMakk.
You killed Connor.
He is.
You bastard. Serious Jest.
And we are
Live from the
Man Cave. Thank you very much for checking us out. This has been an awesome time, and we appreciate your time with us on a holiday weekend, as you're probably ignoring your wife, which, let's be honest, all of us are. And happy Mother's Day.
I'm going to wake up late. I'm going to wake up late tomorrow. I'm going to get hit with a pan or have water thrown on me in the bed.
I like that you
Cave of therapy.
Both hit with a pan and dumped water on you. I like both of those things are going to happen.
Well, the pan will probably be my first chance to get up. She'll place a nicely skilled blow at my rib area.
It's seconds apart,
or something in my ass.
She's not going to give you
No. She gives me enough time for her to walk back to the kitchen and put the pan back in its place and grab fill up the jug of water while she hums to herself like she's about to I'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, and then, it comes back over and dumps all of it on me.
I'm down with everything that just happened. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. We love you from Live from the Man Cave. Love you, Mom. Thank you very much. Also, love you, baby. All right. See you later, dude. Peace. Nailed it. That was a good one.